Today's video, we're now going to be dividing powers, which is kind of going to be similar to when we multiplied powers, but we just use the opposite operations when we're doing these. So a lot of these are going to look like fractions. I think all of these are going to look like fractions. And again, we can expand them out to kind of see how you do these problems, okay? So for example, we have this fraction here. Now, some of the problems, you're going to have the powers on top are going to be bigger. So that means the 4 is bigger than the 2. The 5 is bigger than, remember, there's a 1 here. Okay. And then sometimes you're going to have powers on the bottom that are bigger. But let's first look at the powers on top where they're bigger. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this. So I'm going to write this as one big fraction. We have 18 over 6, all right? And we have x to the 4th, which is x, 2, 3, 4. And on the bottom here, we have x to the 2nd, so that's just x and x. And then we have the y's, right? The y to the 5th is here and y here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and only 1 on the bottom here. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is reduce, divide or reduce. Or reduce. And again, if you want to use the Desmos calculator to help you out, 18 over 6, 18, boom, 6 equals 3, right? And you don't have to reduce that. You can just type in 3, all right? And that's going to go on top. Now, there's x's. There's 4 x's here, and there's 2 x's here. If I divide any x by itself, it cancels out. So I can eliminate these 2, and you're left with 2 x's on top. Same thing here. I can eliminate 1 of the y's, and I'm left with 4 y's on top. So you're going to use these to kind of cancel out anything that's on the top and on the bottom. So that is 3x to the 2nd, y to the 4th, and that would be your answer. Now, shortcut, if you want to do this, 18 divided by 6 is 3. 4 minus 2 is 2. 5 minus, there's a little 1 here, right? 5 minus 1 is 4. So you can also subtract them if you want to use a shortcut. But I recommend you expand them out. Okay, so we have 3x to the 2nd, y to the 4th. Second, click down here, y to the 4th. Submit, yes. Let's look at another one. Similar problem. Okay. Again, I'm going to expand this out. We have 20 and 4. All right. And then we have x's. We have 8 on top, 8 on the bottom. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can tell right off the bat, well, if I have 8 on top, 8 on the bottom, those are all going to eliminate, right? Yep, you're right. Y to the 3rd, 1, 2, 3, over 1y down here. All right, so let's eliminate and reduce, okay? First thing I'm going to do is reduce this. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is eliminate all the x's since they all go into each other and there's 8 of them. All right, so there's nothing left on the x's. And then I'm going to eliminate 1 the y's, and you're left with y squared. And that would be your final answer. So in these cases, the numbers up top are always going to be bigger than the ones on the bottom. But let's take a look at something else, another type of problem where maybe they're not always bigger. Yeah, we can do this. All right, so we expand this out. Now remember, there's a 1 here, right? So we have 4 over 1, right? Because there's a 1 up top. Okay, then we have the x's, right? We have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My pen is not working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 6 on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now the y's. All right, you got 4 up top, 8 on the bottom. Oh, that's a little different. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reduce the number out in front. 4 divided by 1 is 4. Okay. Eliminate the x's, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm left with 1x on top. And now when I eliminate the y's, this is going to be the little different thing. A little different right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 are left, but 4 are left over on the bottom. So this has to be on the bottom. So the y to the 4th has to go on the bottom of the fraction. In order to type that in, let's see, we have on the calculator, we have a fraction. I mean, I guess you could do divide. I don't see any fraction button here. So what you're going to do is 4x is this. Yep, 4x. Use the divide button or you hit the slash on your keyboard. Y to the 4th. We're going to do one more. Similar problem. Come on. Work for me, baby. Okay, we could do that. I want to see if there's any. This is what I want right here. Perfect. I'm glad we did this. All right, so we expand this out. 15 over 25. We're like, well, 25 doesn't go into 15, right? I'll show you in a little bit. Let's just expand it all out first. We have x squared and x squared. So x, 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 x. And we have 2 y's up top. 1, 2. And then 7 on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, all right, we have to reduce the numbers out in front here, right? We reduce those, right? 15 divided by 25. Let's put that clear. 15 fraction button, 25. Ooh, 0.6, but I'm going to make it a fraction, 3/5, right? 15 over 25 reduces to 3/5. So I'm going to keep it a fraction, 3 over 5. All right, let's start eliminating the other stuff. These two cancel out. There's no x's, right? There's no x's left over. I don't have any x's to write. These two y's cancel out, and I'm left with how many on the bottom? 5. So be careful. You have to write the 5 on the bottom of the fraction, since that's on the below the fraction bar. And there's nothing that goes up on top here. There's no x's, so we're just going to leave it like this. So when I type it in, I have 3 over 3 slash. That's how I did the shortcut again. Or you could use the division symbol, right? Because dividing is the same. It was the operation do with this fraction bar. 5y to the 5th. So you have 5y to the 5th power. So this looks exactly like this. Submit it. Yes. So with these problems, make sure you expand. If you notice there's more on the bottom than on the top. For example, if we did this one, nope. If we did this one, right, you have 7 here, 1 here. That means 6 are left over, going to be on the bottom. So sometimes you might have some left over on the bottom, and use the scientific calculator, the Desmos scientific calculator, to reduce the fractions to help you when you have to do that. Okay. So work through these problems, expand them out. If you have questions, let me know. Thank you for watching.